Have you ever wondered if the deepest spiritual truths, the kind taught by sages for centuries, were not just mystical poetry, but literal descriptions of reality? What if the wisdom of Nisargadatta Maharaj, one of the great non-dual teachers of the 20th century, wasn't just philosophy, but a direct pointer to something science is only now beginning to glimpse? Today, September 29th, 2025, we stand at a remarkable crossroads. For centuries, saints and mystics whispered that consciousness is primary. And now, quantum physics is not only echoing those whispers, it's amplifying them. This is quantum awareness. Science validates Nisargadatta's wisdom. Nisargadatta Maharaj, a humble cigarette seller in Mumbai, became one of the most influential spiritual voices of the 20th century. His message was disarmingly simple, yet utterly profound. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are the awareness in which both arise and subside. For him, the central truth was the recognition of the I am, the raw sense of existence prior to thought, prior to identity. He insisted that what we take to be the world, objects, people, events, is all a play within consciousness. At the core of his teaching was a radical inversion. Instead of consciousness arising from matter, matter arises in consciousness. That sounds poetic, until you look at the discoveries of modern quantum physics. Quantum physics, developed in the early 20th century, shattered the old Newtonian worldview of a solid, objective universe ticking like a giant clock. Instead, scientists discovered a reality far stranger than anyone expected. Particles behave like waves. Matter exists in superposition, multiple states at once, until observed. Entanglement connects particles instantly across space, as if reality itself is one indivisible whole. Even Einstein, shaken by these discoveries, called it spooky action at a distance. But here's the astonishing part. These quantum mysteries echo Nisargadatta's wisdom. He said, "The world exists because you are aware. Without awareness, what world is there?" Quantum mechanics seems to suggest the same thing. Without the act of observation, reality doesn't crystallize into form. Awareness and existence are not separate, they are intertwined. Perhaps the most famous example is the double-slit experiment. Fire electrons or photons through two slits, and they behave like waves, creating interference patterns. But the moment you observe which slit the particle goes through, the wave collapses. It acts like a particle. In other words, observation determines reality. Nisargadatta would smile knowingly at this. He once said, "The world you perceive is made of consciousness. What you call matter is only consciousness in movement." The observer effect in quantum physics suggests that consciousness, or at least the act of observation, plays a fundamental role in shaping reality. It's as though the universe is waiting for awareness to bring it into being. Could it be that Maharaj's insistence on awareness as the ultimate reality wasn't mysticism, but a recognition of what physics is now uncovering? Quantum entanglement is perhaps the most mind-bending discovery of all. Two particles, once connected, remain linked no matter how far apart they are. Change one instantly, and the other responds faster than light. This violates our classical idea of separateness. Nisargadatta's words resonate here. There is only one reality, which manifests as many. The many are illusions, the one is real. Entanglement is a scientific echo of this truth. At the deepest level, Reality is not fragmented. It is a seamless, interconnected whole. And this isn't just theory. Entanglement is the basis for quantum computing and quantum encryption. Technologies that prove this strange unity is real and measurable. Science, in its most advanced form, is confirming what the mystics declared centuries ago. We are one. Let's go deeper. To our senses, the world feels solid. But quantum physics shows us that matter is mostly empty space. Atoms are 99.999999% space. The solidity we experience is simply the effect of electromagnetic forces. Matter is less like Lego blocks and more like shimmering patterns of energy in a field. Nisargadatta described it simply. All is appearance. The world is but a show, glittering and empty. Modern physics agrees. What we call reality is more like a hologram, a projection of energy patterns and probabilities. And here's where quantum awareness steps in. If matter is a play of probabilities collapsing into actuality only when observed, then consciousness is not just a passive witness, it's a co-creator of reality. For centuries, science insisted that consciousness is an emergent property of matter. The brain somehow produces. Awareness, like a factory, makes goods. But this materialist model is crumbling. Physicists like John Wheeler proposed participatory universe models, where observers are necessary for reality to exist. Others, like Amit Goswami and Henry Stapp, argue that consciousness is fundamental. This is exactly what Nisargadatta taught. Awareness is beyond space and time. Space and time exist in awareness, not the other way around. Quantum physics doesn't prove this directly, but it opens the door. It suggests that consciousness is not a late arrival in the cosmos, but the very ground upon which the cosmos arises. And suddenly, science and spirituality aren't enemies, they're allies. This might sound abstract, but let's bring it down to life. If reality is fundamentally interconnected, if matter is just consciousness crystallized into patterns, if awareness itself shapes the world we experience, then our daily lives take on a radical new meaning. Responsibility. The way we perceive reality influences how reality unfolds. A shift in awareness can shift the world. Freedom. If we are not the body or the mind, but awareness itself, then our deepest nature is untouched, free, infinite. Compassion. Entanglement shows that we're inseparably linked. Hurting another is, in some sense, hurting ourselves. Nisargadatta insisted that liberation wasn't about escaping the world, but realizing your true nature as pure awareness. Quantum awareness gives this ancient insight a modern scientific backbone. Where is all this heading? Quantum research is only scratching the surface. New experiments are probing the role of consciousness in collapsing wave functions, exploring the quantum brain hypothesis, and even looking at how meditation might alter measurable quantum states. Imagine a future where neuroscience and quantum physics converge to show how awareness interacts with the universe. Imagine education systems teaching children that they are not just isolated bodies, but expressions of a unified field of consciousness. Imagine a society where Nisargadatta's timeless wisdom is not confined to ashrams or philosophy books, but forms the foundation of science, ethics, and human flourishing. That's not fantasy. That's the trajectory we're on. So let's return to the question, what if the most profound spiritual truths were encoded in the fabric of reality, waiting for science to catch up? Today, we've seen how the radical teachings of Nisargadatta Maharaj, you are not the body, you are not the mind, You are awareness itself. Find surprising echoes in the frontier discoveries of quantum physics. Observation shaping reality. Entanglement proving oneness. Matter dissolving into shimmering emptiness. Consciousness emerging not as a byproduct, but as the ground of existence. For centuries, mystics pointed directly to this truth. Now, science is beginning to point there too. But here's the key. This isn't just an intellectual game. It's an invitation. Nisargadatta didn't want us to worship ideas. He wanted us to investigate directly. Who am I? So as we close, I invite you, look within. Notice the pure sense of being. That awareness is the very same awareness in which the cosmos shines. And that, perhaps, is the most groundbreaking discovery of all. If this journey into quantum awareness sparked something in you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's ready to see the universe in a new light. Remember, you are not just in the universe. The universe is in you. This is the timeless wisdom of Nisargadatta Maharaj, now validated by the cutting edge of science. Until next time, stay aware, stay free,